Okay, so here we go with flight number 4. The first battery is done, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. I'll check it later. This is a battery I just checked. It is 4.19, so it's good to go. Always turn on the radio first, and then plug in the airplane. Also make sure you get the battery up here as far as you can, just like that. Okay. Winds are 2.345 miles an hour, 4 miles an hour, so we're still doing good. Winds have calmed down a little bit. I'm going to start my timer and test. I always test to make sure that the elevator and motors are working. They are. So here we go. Whoa. And there's a gust to 13 miles an hour. 13 miles an hour will blow this thing off the table. Alright, let's wait for the winds to settle down again. Now we're back down to 5, 4, 3 miles an hour. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to give it full power pretty quickly so it'll get down and run down the table. Alright, that's 5 or 6 miles an hour. It's trying to roll it off the table again. Eight, 7, 9, 8, 7. A little gustier than I want. I got 2 other wind gauges. There's a wind sock over there and a American flag over there, and they all are saying about the same thing, 5 to 10. That's getting too windy. Here it goes. Back down to 5. Give me 4. There's 4. Time to go. Here we go. Okay. I set the power. There is about 50-60%, maybe 70% on my power. Okay. The elevator is very responsive. In other words, it'll go up and down very nicely, very quickly. If I pull back on the stick, it responds very quickly. Okay, the airplane looked like it wasn't going anywhere, so I added some power because there's too much wind out there. So now I'm just moving the stick just a little bit to turn it and moving it back to center, just enough to turn it. And I'm not pulling back on the stick. The up and down is really being done by the wind. So this is a good lesson on how to fly the airplane in wind. Preferably you'll have a little less wind when you get your first flight. Okay, so I'm just slow movement of the stick. I also let go of the stick like this to see if it'll fly level. With a windy day like today, that might be tough. But I do let go of the stick like this, see how it's going. It's going fine. I'm going to add 100% power because I got a little low. Probably am off camera right now, and now I'm back on camera. You can see the clouds above the trees and how fast they're moving. Those clouds are a good indication of what's to come. There is a cold front to the west of us moving this way. And I was hoping to get some good flights in before that cold front got here. It looks like it's moving in quicker than I want. Okay, I'm doing a lot of turns to keep it in the camera view. A lot of left turns. Okay. I'll go a right turn here. Come back a little closer to the camera. Maybe you can see it better. So it's fairly simple to fly. All you got to do is worry about left and right. Make sure you got enough power. I'm for the most part, I am not using the power at all. You can see this thumb, my left thumb, is not touching the power at all. Now oh good, the winds have calmed down. This is very nice. Okay. So what happens with the turning is when you put the stick all the way over, one motor stops and the other motor goes on to 100% as maximum possible thrust. And that turns it pretty quickly, but if you just bump the stick to the, in this case, to the left, okay, that was the wind. Let me go get it. Okay, so what happened there is a gust of wind hit it, started pushing it backwards actually. I had it 100% power. I couldn't control it, and it came down to the ground. So you can see that it knocked the landing gear off a little bit. Just stick it back in. It's very sturdy, and that's probably enough for that battery. Okay, so this battery now reads, going over airplane. This battery now reads 3.8. 3.82 actually. So the timer says 6 minutes, so we were probably flying for about 5. And that's a good flight. Winds have calmed down again. We might get another flight in. Alright, so I'm going to check and make sure which battery is which before I plug it into the charger. Yep, okay, that's the one I just used. It's going to go in position number... I've taken the first one out so I could use position number 1, but I'm going to use position number 4 just to keep track of where I am. Check another battery for the next flight. Yep, that's 4.2. That's probably the one I just charged. Okay, very good. Thank you for watching.